part of my job. Finally here.
Okay, great. Well, we'll make this short and sweet. And
Thanks very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Do a little intro and we'll get started. Welcome to the Global Gaming Business Podcast. We're here on day 2 of the 2025 G2E, and my guest today is Shimon Akad, the COO of Playtech. Shimon, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. I know you're real busy during the show. Your company's doing a great job here, and I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure.
So let's start with your entry into the U.S. Obviously, Playtech has been a very important company in iGaming for years, but you've only been in the U.S. for what, 5 or 6 years?
Correct. So obviously, when we do things and we go to new markets, we'd like to plan them properly ahead.
Sure.
And as you remember, if you remember the US industry a couple of years ago, it was a lot about investing and a lot about losses.
Right.
And we want to make sure we do it the right way.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of experience in regulated markets, and as Playtech, our strategy is to be the leading supplier for regulated markets.
Right.
So when we planned the entry, we obviously did it correctly in that sense. And then we started about 5 years ago, and we're very happy with the progress we see within our business in the US. You know, we've gone to New Jersey, we've gone to all the big 3 gaming states, we've expanded to West Virginia, we've expanded to other markets as well. So the way we see it is, if you want to make sure that you're serious about the business, you better plan it and action by the plan and make it work.
Right.
And we are absolutely serious about the US, which is evident by the business that we have today, which we're very happy with.
Okay. How difficult was the licensing process to get into the U.S.? Obviously, every state has their licensing hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, you know, people talk about the US as a market, and it is. It's the biggest market there, right?
Right.
But actually, the US is actually, it's built up from many states, right? And each of them has its own process.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it's a difficult process, but I would say that it's a demanding process if you compare it probably to the other jurisdictions worldwide in that sense. But you know, once you're accustomed to working in regular markets, and you have the whole process, and you're professional about it and serious about it, then you just go through the moves, and it may take a little bit longer, but it happens, and it's just a process for us.
And that's embedded in your culture, the compliance issue like that nature, right?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, there's lots of work for the compliance managers and everybody around. But at the end of the day, again, what we see a very inviting regulator. We see a regulator that understands the industry, understands the business, and actually wants to see, I assume, more operators and suppliers alike. And while yes, it is a demanding process, they make sure that the process keeps on going and it's been done in a very professional manner. So we find it all in all, we find it to be a good process.
Okay, great. So explain, I know you serve both the land-based industry and the online industry now. You started out just on the online industry and added the land-based as you went along?
Correct. And our strategy in the US was, in essence, our global strategy, which is we come with one of our products and gradually we expand on the rest of our products. So we may come with our RNG casino, with our content.
Right.
We may come with our casino, with our live casino, with our live dealer casino. We may come with a platform. We may come with a poker, with a bingo. We may come with some of the, with our sports or with the retail sports. So we will actually work with the customers, with the operators. They are in the driving seat in that sense. We will work with them on the business that makes sense. And that's what we did. We started with our content, we come with our platform, and we're expanding on our products.
Okay, great. Are you have clients that you serve both the land-based and the online side of their
business?
Correct.
Yes, we do, 100%.
Okay.
In fact, some of our really good clients and friends, right? They are both land-based operators and online operators, and in that sense, we would be serving them with our content and with our software, both in the land-based and in the online.
Okay. So tell us about your PAM Plus system. How is that implemented across all these platforms?
I think that probably our best advantage in the market, our USP, right, is our PAM, is our platform, right?
Okay.
What we call DIMS. I think the whole industry knows it as DIMS. It's something that Playtech grew the business with, developed and evolved the business with.
Right. Something
that obviously started probably 15 years ago, and since then materially evolved both in terms of features and in terms of technology. We believe, we hear from the customers and the industry that it's the most advanced platform. and working with the operators is a material thing for us to do. And what we see that markets, they launch, right? They start, it's 5 years, 10 years, but gradually over time, markets become much more mature and much more demanding and much smarter. And operators need a better platform, right, to make sure that they stay competitive in the market. So everybody could buy in the same price, más o menos, and everybody, and then it's all about how much you can take the ROI out of the player. The better your tech is, the better your platform is, and of course the better the team is, right? That's another part, then you can squeeze better ROI from the players. And in that sense, and that's what you need. So we see ourselves as hopefully a major contributor within a very advanced and very smart system to help the operators have that additional edge they need to win in the market.
Okay, great. So you also have some very superior platforms, and you know, some of the best in the industry for sure. But you're also in the content business. You know, I remember being at ICE in London and seeing some of your characters jumping around the stand there, and it was pretty exciting. So let's start with the slot games.
One time we bought a bus. We literally put a bus inside the ice just to show there's mobile, so you can sit in the bus and play on your phone. So we do, we used to do, we used to do all this crazy stuff.
It's exciting. Let's start with the slot games. How many studios do you have, and you know, how do you develop the slot games out of those studios?
So we have about 7 to 8 in-house studios. What we do is we gradually all the time look for more and more studios that we acquire, M&A or open, and then we have this kind of always strategic look to see, you know, who are the best studios, what makes sense and how it makes sense. Some of our studios are very old and are with us for, you know, more than a decade, and the whole concept of having different studios is that you would appeal to different markets and different tastes, both of players and operators. And people who play games in Eastern Europe would not necessarily, and like specific content, would not specifically like the same content in the US or say in South America, right? Some of the better content actually works well pretty much everywhere, right? But you do need that localizer. What we see today is that online allows you to actually release to the market much more content, and with that you can have the content much more tailored. It can be tailored to an operator with the branding. It can be tailored to a specific you know, territory, geography, because this is kind of the affinity, that's what they like. And it can be tailored to specific events like, you know, the Mondial next year or Christmas or whatever. So we see that the market today is much more developed, much more advanced, and therefore you need more studios to cater for more needs that the market is there.
I imagine you could also target demographics.
100%.
Absolutely. So you recently signed a deal with MGM Resorts and BetMGM to put a live studio in Las Vegas, and one of my colleagues got a chance to tour that yesterday, and they were very impressed. How important was that for you to make that deal?
I'm very happy you mentioned that, and I'm happy your friend was impressed. We were actually, I went there myself to see, you know, the final work that the team did. I went there on Monday, I'm sorry, and I was absolutely impressed as well. I think what we found with MGM Resorts, we found true partners that were genuinely looking to create something that's innovative in the market. You know, we're in showbiz, we're part of showbiz, and this is all about how do you make sure that the customers stay engaged? How do you make sure that they see something that they haven't seen everywhere else? How do you make sure that they love the things they see? So what we wanted, and in that partnership, we wanted to bring the live experience that is so unique to the industry. You know, there's no place like Vegas, right? It's the capital world of gaming industry, right? So we wanted to bring for the first time ever that land-based Vegas experience right into the home of where you live. So wherever whether if you are in Mexico or you're in UK or you're in Canada, wherever you are, you can be sitting in the comfort of your home, but you can feel in Vegas. So the first thing we did actually was we put those dual cameras on the floor, you know, in the MGM brand, and the Bellagio, by the way. So you can be sitting now at home playing table and actually seeing other players, you know, with $100 bills on the table. And then we evolved further. We love the results. It was probably the first time in many years that I got phone calls from operators asking us to launch with them first, because there was such a demand for that. And then what we did, we went on and we built a whole studio. on the floor in Vegas, in the MGM Resort.
Right.
So now that when players walk by, they can actually see the studio, and when players are playing at home, some of the angles of the cameras are built in such a way that allows you to see that it's part of the gaming floor on Vegas. And then we took all of that. We took Family Feud with Fremantle, which are also fantastic partners of ours for more than a decade now, and we built the first game show live from Vegas.
Right.
And this is an evolving thing, right? It's the beginning of. It's something the market learns to understand and appreciate. We see players that are commenting more and more on the quality of the dealers and the operation and the whole thing around it, and we see a lot of appreciation to this thing. So we love the project.
So you're going to do more of those game shows, I'm thinking.
100%. We think, part of the industry, again, we're in showbiz.
Sure.
So part of showbiz is putting those game shows, and those game shows are kind of an easy entry pathway to the funnel of players. To start with as a game show, they can now then move to the table games, then they can go maybe to the slots, but that funnel that starts with something that's a little bit sometimes more easy, let's say poker or bingo, or in that case game shows. And of course, what we want to do next is make a little bit more fun of it and show of it, and bring some celebrities, and then make sure there's the whole ecosystem of entertainment around these tables.
Well, then MGM has a lot of relationships with celebrities these days, so hopefully you can get some of them as well.
We sure do hope so.
I can see Chris Rock up there for sure.
I'm not promising anything at this moment.
So obviously sports betting was the big break in this country when that was legalized. So when an operator comes to you and they want to look at your sports betting platform, do you bring all the bells and whistles in terms of the data that goes along with it and all the other things you need to operate a sports book?
Yes. So we've launched sports also here in the US. Of course, we started with the content. We started with a platform. Those are kind of the robust things that are bread and butter, the business that people know us by. And then gradually we add more and more products. And we've launched sports. We've also launched sports in retail. And of course, because sports is integrated to our IMS, to our PAM, to our platform, it by definition will come with all the smartness, knowledge, and kind of experience that we've collected and all put on our PAM. So definitely when you see our sports, it comes with those features. And then you can do all the smart stuff that you want to do with your customers in order to make sure that they are treated properly in the online, all the funneling and the customer interaction and so on and so forth.
Okay. Obviously, an important aspect of gambling is responsible gambling. You've developed a system called Bet Buddy that is very well recognized right now amongst the problem gambling community. Tell us why you started that and how it's been received.
Cool. We are 100% serious about responsible gaming. We see that as a material part of our business, especially we focus on regulated markets where there is responsible gaming. This is how we see our business. This is how we want people to see us. And within that, what we've done, we've partnered with with a few math doctors and AI algorithm experts that they've kind of put forward together a platform that they call Bet Buddy. It has a lot of smartness around it that utilizes the data we just mentioned before to kind of try to build the best models where you can both protect the customers that need protection. It's not a big percentage, but that small percentage is a very important part of our industry. We need to recognize that, right? The smarter your system is with BetBuddy, the more you can identify these people and make sure that they are handled properly, and then the more sure you can handle the rest of the business properly. So the tough job really is to make sure that you can identify real time those players who need help, handle them in a very sensitive and smart manner, while allowing the operator to continue to run their business for the rest of the 90-something plus players in a very commercial, let's say, approach. So that balance is super important to us, hence why we've invested in BetBuddy, which also has a lot of demand.
Okay. Can you actually direct a player with problems to a treatment program?
And there are a lot of specific actions you can take within BetBuddy. It starts from simple messaging to much further more in the terms of activities. It really depends on the local jurisdiction the local regulation,
Right, okay.
the local guidelines, what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. And of course, it depends also on the operator and what they want to do and how
Sure.
they want to do it. At the
Right.
end of the day, the system is smart and flexible in a sense that it allows you to configure what you need to do, how you need to do according to the local regulations. But in essence, there's the, the limits are limited. I'm sorry, the possibilities are unlimited.
So how important is AI to your company these days?
Wow, that's a fantastic question. AI in the past probably 2 years have changed, I think, materially what we see. Not only worldwide, and normally our industry is kind of slow to adopt new technology.
Right.
The first one to admit that. But with AI, it's the LLM base, right? The large language models ones. It is material to an industry. It interjects, because we are based in the online on technology, it interjects in so many parts of the industry and changes things. You can produce today content probably 20 times faster,
Yeah, really.
right? You can do QA
Yeah.
on a level that you've never done before,
Yeah.
right? You can start to write code with it
Right.
in a smart way. Now, it's never that easy, especially when you want to make sure that legal-wise, compliance-wise,
Sure, right.
IP-wise, you do things in a smart way. So you can't just do whatever you want.
Right.
It's not as Playtech and not as the responsible companies in our industry. But already today, if you use AI smartly, you can probably increase the capacity of your productivity without increasing the people. All you have to do is train them,
Right.
supply them with the correct software or AI, which, by the way, every 3 months you will get something amazing and new. It's like it's moving in an incredible pace, but already today, again, we can probably produce a couple of times more content than we did with the same amount of people that we used to have.
Right.
So I see AI changing materially the industry. By the way, not just the industry, but definitely the industry, and already now as we speak.
Great, great. Well, one more question.
Sure.
What's next with Playtech?
What's next? Everybody want to know about the future. I want to know about the future.
Right.
I think it's a fantastic question. It's listen. Firstly, I'm happy to say we have a very robust pipeline, of new content deals to new operators worldwide. I mean, we're in a fantastic industry. The industry just keeps on growing and growing all the time, right? There's more operators, more business. The industry is growing by definition in most markets, right? So we see a robust pipeline of new customers and new content deals. We see a robust pipeline of parallel of existing customers that are actually expanding both in territories and in products. So maybe you have the content, now you want the poker, maybe you have the poker, now you want the live. So we see both that going, and it keeps us very, very busy. And of course, we have those very special and platform deals that sometimes we are extending into JVs or services that are happening all the time, and make sure they keep us busy. I hope that by the time some of the people will listen to this podcast, they will say, "Oh, that's Shimon talked about that thing." So we have some, big stuff coming before the end of the year.
We'll pay attention and report on it.
Unfortunately, I can't disclose more than that. We like to talk about things after they happen.
Yes,
So
right.
how about we make it happen? But I'm pretty sure it's happening, and I hope everybody will look at it and say, well done in that sense.
So next year at G2E, we'll get together and you tell me what has happened through the past year. And
It
I'm
will
sure
probably
it'll
be old news by then.
I'm sure, right.
But I will do it gladly.
How about
I
us?
will do it gladly. I will do it. Thank you very much for having me.
Shimon. I
It was a
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much. All the best to you. Thank you
Yes.
so much.